All right, welcome to Weekly Wise today. I am your MC, Matthew Parks, and thrilled to be here to give you an introduction. We do these Weekly Wise to provide some free ice cream because I love ice cream, and to provide some free inspiration because I also love inspiration, and as we do as a household. So we welcome you to those who are here to be here, and those with us online. We want to recognize you and thank you and appreciate you for being here and joining us. It is my privilege today to get to introduce Lisa Davis. And she's someone I've known, I don't remember exactly when I met you, but I've known you for a while now. And actually just recently I have been working with her. She has been an accountability partner for me, and it's been fantastic. She's done a great job helping me in getting clear and achieving some of the goals I've been working on. So that's been great. So I'm thankful for that. She's a mother of 3 and just a delightful person to be around. So I'm really excited to have her here and to welcome her on up.
Thank you, friends. I'm glad to be here. So, as Matt mentioned, I do have 3 children, and quite frankly, there are many, many other things that I could be doing right now. But I'm glad to be here because there is a message that needs to be shared. When I was first invited to be a part of this Weekly Wise and to share my message, I thought, oh yay, fun. Okay, I'll do that. And then I thought, oh no, I'm not one of those. I don't have anything to say. I'm not like Tracy Roberts or Wileen or some of these other mentors that we've had in this list of people. I don't have a message. I don't have anything to say was what was echoing through my mind. And I realized that that was part of my message. That was my answer of what I needed to speak about. Because the way that I was saying it, it wasn't just, oh, this is my time to listen, which is a great thing. It was, oh, you don't matter. You're not significant. Nothing you say could be important. And then I realized, I don't think I'm the only one that's ever felt this way. And so this message is for all of us that have ever felt like this. Yes. So something I wanted to talk about is about the art of valuing yourself. And some of the things I wanted to get into might seem a little bit personal, so tune me out if it is. And I do have a couple of notes to make sure that I stay focused on what I need to talk about. So, Les Brown said, if you do things that are easy, your life will be hard. If you do things that are hard, your life will be easy. And we are meant to experience joy. I do believe that. When you are in the space of, I don't matter, nothing I do matters, it doesn't matter anyway, that puts you in a cycle where, oh, it doesn't matter if I sleep in today. My choices don't matter. Nothing I do matters. So it's very low down, and you find yourself in this position where you are not getting what you want because you don't want those things that are easy. But since we're meant to experience joy, it becomes not only our privilege, but our duty to start to value ourselves so that we can make better choices. And there's some different things that value can be based on, and I want to go over a few of those. First one is your production, and then your perspective, and then your uniqueness, some of the things that you do. I'm going to share a story. First one is about production. So my journey of this, when I first realized, oh, I have a problem with this, with valuing myself, started when I became a mother, just about 4 years ago. And being a mother was part of my identity. That's all I put my identity as being. Like, oh, I'm going to be a mother. That's the only thing important to my existence. And I want to be a good mother. And a good mother nurses her children. And so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to like fight to do that. And so I did that very stubbornly for my son, who did not learn to eat at all. And doctor's visits later, it wasn't a good situation. And I was realizing that I had been basing my opinion of myself and the way that I treated my body on what it was giving out. Surprise, our bodies are so amazing. If you do not feed your body, if you do not give your body sleep, it was about 3 hours of sleep a day, and that would be a high average for weeks at a time going through this. Guess what? Your body can't really perform very well. Another example that I realized was that, I'm going to ask you if you had a tomato plant. Yeah, but when you think of a tomato plant, oh, okay, I'm going to get this big tomato. You water it a lot before you even see a flower, before you even see a tomato, before you even eat the tomato. So it doesn't make sense to wait until you have achieved this to start nurturing yourself and nourishing yourself in order to get there. That's the first lesson. The second lesson has to do with your perspective. So I have been putting the other people on Weekly Wise on a pedestal, like, oh, well, they're big. Big is good. Like, I'm just little over here. And I wanted to share an image with you. This is the one that is about the stars.
It'll take me a second to get on here, but
He'll
you can continue talking.
One of my now favorite songs is I Am Like a Star. I am like a star shining brightly, shining for the whole world to see. I can do and say happy things each day, for I know Heavenly Father loves me. So the one reason that this is important to me, again, now as I'm relearning these things, is that look at these stars. There's a lot of them. Some of them are more bright than others. All of them are in different places. So even if a star is exactly equal, or may not be as bright as something else, it is more beautiful because of where they are. Move on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
How much better would our life, would our universe be if we didn't wait to be the best before we decided to shine our brightest? In my high school, there was a little poster that said, use the talents you possess. The words would be very silent if only if no birds sang except the best. This next picture that's going to come on is so much more dazzling and amazing, and you can see how some of them are so very bright and some of them are farther away and they don't seem as bright to us. But that's what glorious things are, is that we are big, we are shining where we are. The message with that is that you are needed exactly where you are. You are needed as a mother. You are needed as that friend. There are places in your sphere of influence that are specific to you. You are the only one that can reach and fill those needs. The stars.
Sorry, I was enjoying them.
One of the most, they are beautiful. I can keep looking at them. The most important person that you have influence on and stewardship for is yourself. And I wanted to share one more thing about value. Sometimes people think, and I found myself thinking too, that if I'm not different, if I don't have something that's unique and special about me, then I don't matter. So I'm going to need some help with this next part. I want to show you. Focus up, grab it, sorry. Yes. So as you can see, and I'll bring it a little bit closer, this is made up of lots and lots of little threads. Many, many threads. And it is part of a greater whole. Lovely. And so when you don't value yourself, that's just as if you would take some scissors. Yeah, I'm really going to do this. And you would just think, oh, this thing doesn't matter. And it may not seem like it matters very much, but it's not as beautiful as it was. It's damaged. See? what happens in our lives when just the little small things about ourselves that tell ourselves that we don't matter? What happens? The hole gets bigger in not only in all of us as humanity, because we do need each other, but in your own soul. What's happening when you don't notice and fix those little teeny things? Like, oh, it doesn't matter. I don't need to have pictures on the walls. I don't need to eat breakfast this morning. There's so many other things to do. This happens to moms all the time. When one is busy, you let yourself get a hole and it gets bigger. So there's that story. The message from this is that every little habit does make a difference. It all adds up. This is where it comes in with accountability. So accountability means, in my words, that everything counts. That you are willing to take responsibility for your choices and to say that it matters. So if you are counting calories, which calorie doesn't count? Not as an accountant, which dollar doesn't count?
I like all of them.
We do, we like all of them. Which day or moment doesn't count, that doesn't become a part of our life? They all do. And it's the way that we treat ourselves, on the inside, that determines the way that we're going to treat other people. One of my favorite quotes is that you treat others the way you treat yourself. So always treat yourself with kindness. Another aspect of this is that you can only receive the amount of love that you are willing to put out and that you are willing to accept, especially. One of my favorite TV series is VeggieTales. And I love VeggieTales. At the end, they say, God made you special and he loves you very much. And it's true. But if you do not accept that love, if you do not say, I am special and I matter to me, then everything else on the outside can't affect you. One of the amazing things about becoming accountable is that you are accountable for your thoughts, you are accountable for your feelings, you are accountable for your actions, you are accountable for your words. And the reason why this is so amazing, why we are accountable, is that there is a space between the stimulus and the response where we get to make a choice. Dan Clark said, I may not always choose what happens to me, but I can always choose what happens next. And so one of the things that has become part of my purpose as I've been learning and growing in these mentoring, all these things that I'm doing, is that I am accountable before God, and I'm learning to be accountable to myself. And helping other people do that is rewarding because you get to choose your experiences. You get to choose. I'm going to experience this and make the best of it. A famous quote says, I can't hear your words because your example is too loud. Carol Tuttle, a woman I look up to quite a bit, she gets asked all the time, how do I get this other person to change, a mentor? And the answer is always the same. You say and do nothing. Well, that's an easy place to start. But then she tells them, send them your loving energy. Because that is what changes. That is what changes people, when they can feel loving energy. And the way that you do that is by saying, doesn't need to be out loud, I love you. I accept you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. All of those words that send that energy. And you know who needs that more than anybody? Yourself. that person in the mirror, as Beaker would say when he was singing Ode to Joy. Went around a few days in my house singing that, because that's who you get to make a difference to. That's who matters in your life. That's who matters in your world, because that's the person that gets to choose your experience. And we are here to have joy. There was a story about a man walking along the beach that was covered in thousands and thousands of starfish that had been washed up by a huge tidal wave. And this man was walking along and just tossing them back into the river, into the ocean, so that they could live. And someone else came up to him and said, "What are you doing? You are wasting your time. There are thousands. You can't possibly make a difference." And his response was that he looked at them, he looked at him, he picked up that one starfish in front of him, the one that he could reach right then. And then he threw it out into the ocean, and he knew that it would live. He said, "I made a difference to that one." So we have the opportunity in our life to make a difference, at the very least, to one person, and that is ourselves. So I would like to call you to action. I would like you to stand up. Stand up where you are. Thank you. I want you to choose that you will make your life better. So we'll do this together. Repeat after me. I'm sorry, we do have, I like to do it with a power pose. Affirmations have been a big gift to me, so I want to teach you this too. I love myself.
I love myself.
I choose to live a good life.
I choose to live a good life.
I matter.
I matter.
I matter to God.
I matter to God.
I matter to me.
I matter to me.
I choose to become accountable.
I choose to become accountable.
I choose to be accountable for my thoughts.
I choose to be accountable for my thoughts.
I choose to be accountable for my actions.
I choose to be accountable for my actions.
I choose to be accountable for every single day.
I choose to be accountable for every single day.
I choose to live my life with love.
I choose to live my life with love.
Thank you. And I do love you. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisa. That was wonderful. Really appreciate you coming and sharing that message with us, sharing part of who you are and what means so much to you. So thanks. And thanks for getting up the courage to stand up and own it, even with all that you see, overcoming those limiting beliefs of, oh, well, like you said, well, they could do it. They're this. No, you matter and you're here, and we're so glad that you're here. So thank you so much for coming and showing up for us. And it is my pleasure at this point to introduce, well, okay, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit biased. My favorite person on the entire planet. It is my wife, Bonnie. And I guess I would say, by a raise of hands, how many of you have had that amazing teacher that just made all the difference for you at some point in your life? Can you think of that person? So perhaps it was a school teacher, someone who just cared about you, right? That person that was a mentor for you in your life. And as you think about that person, I want you to think about why they made such an impact, why they stand out in your memory. I think a large part of it will come down to because they cared about you. There was a relationship there. And also, they were a mentor to you in some way. They made an impact on your life. They gave you direction in some form. And with that, Bonnie is going to share a message a little bit about the impact that's had on her life and really on our life and our lives, our marriage, and more. So with that, welcome up the lovely, beautiful Bonnie Parks.
Thank you.
I give you hugs.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Lisa. Definitely, I'm sure you would all agree, Lisa was worthy of being on the Weekly Wise stage with every other amazing speaker who has been here before. I so appreciated your message. And I love specifically the application for each one of us, that it really does start with us and with our own experiences, our own self-love, our own understanding of who we are. I hope you don't mind my adorable, very handsome guest presenter who all of a sudden decided that he had to have me.
I don't think he's gonna come to me, but I thought
No way, Dad, I gotta have Mom. So I just want to share a little story from our very recent experience. So not long ago, my parents returned home from Arizona, where they lived for the last couple of years, and they moved into our house, which was the plan that we had going. And when they got here, a lot of people are saying, what are you gonna do next? What are you gonna do next? And they didn't know, they hadn't figured it out yet. And so we started making our plans together. And my mom said, is it finally time where we buy a house together? And that had been an idea that we had had for a long time. Find something with a mother-in-law apartment that my parents could stay in, and we stay, live upstairs and share the house, but in a way that's not quite as sharing the house as this arrangement is. And we thought, okay, maybe it is. Let's start looking at that. Let's see what's possible. And of course, we wanted it to be a good idea for both families, both just with what we wanted and financially. And so we were really looking at that. We weren't sure what to do, and we just decided to take a few steps and look into it. And we just met on Saturday with our realtor and looked at the numbers and figured out, okay, what if we rent our house? What if we sell our house? Can we afford to buy another one? Would this work? And we realized that not only was it a very desirable idea to us that we liked a lot, but it made some good financial sense. So I'm very excited about this because I spend a lot of time at home. Like Lisa, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and add to that a homeschooling mom, and so I spend a lot of time here with my children, sometimes my husband, and I would love to love my home even more than I do now. And I thought, okay, for me, the idea of getting a new home represents being in a place that I absolutely love. That just the walls around me and the way they look and the decorations on the walls and the dishes and every little thing is just something that I love. And I have many, many, many things in this home that I love like that. And there are some things that I don't love so much that I just couldn't really anticipate when we bought this house, that it wouldn't be the thing that I loved as much, and I've changed over the last 5 years since we've lived here. We all have, and our family has grown, and it keeps growing, and so, so with all of that, I just really want to love our home, and so to me, that's what that opportunity represents. And so imagine my excitement when I realized that this is something that we could do, that it was something that was financially possible. And the reason I'm telling you this whole story is I'm going to just share with you a little bit about why this is a possibility for us at this time. And it's something that I feel very grateful for and very humbled about, because really it wasn't my merits that brought this blessing to me. So a few years ago, you've heard us tell a story about how we joined Strongbrook before it was even called Strongbrook, and decided to begin buying real estate. That's what helped us to buy this home. Since that time, we've bought a few houses, we've refinanced houses, we're in the process of preparing to sell houses that we have owned, and because of all of those things, the money has come together to where a friend recently said to me, how does anyone buy a house if they already own a house? Don't you have to always sell first before you can buy? And I thought, no, not always. Or you don't necessarily have to sell your primary residence to buy a new primary residence if you have these other houses. And there's many different ways that you can do that. And that is one of the things that Strongbrook specializes in, is real estate and helping people to use real estate as a vehicle to become financially free. And for us, we are not to that point of financially free yet, But we're in such a better place than we would have been had we not gotten started in the first place. And as I said, that is what is allowing us to move on to a home that I love even more. I hope it's great for every single one of us that moves and lives in the new home. And, you know, we just are starting the process, so this isn't a big announcement that we're out of here. But for me, I am so grateful to be able to make the next step, to have a little bit more of the life that I really dream of and that I really want. And in so many other ways, besides financial, Strongbrook and Limitless have helped me create the life and have the life that I really, really want. So I'm not going to go into all my testimonials of all the ways that it has helped me. Just know that in every one of the areas that Strongbrook focuses on, my life has improved. So at Limitless, we talk about 4 different ways to live a limitless life, 4 different areas. One of them is financial. And the big focus of the leaders of Strongbrook and Limitless is to help people become financially free. Because that freedom allows them to live the life of purpose and mission, the life of their dreams. Not because money is the end-all, be-all, but because with the money, they can have the time. They can have the opportunity. They can have the relationship strengthening opportunities. They can have the vacations where they build the memories with the family and with the friends. They can have their dreams. They can influence others. They can travel and meet more people. Whatever it is that the people want, the money helps them to get there. And so that is the goal of the financial freedom. Another focus that we focus on at Limitless is limitless health. And, you know, people have, to throw in my own take on it, people have often said, well, you don't need to eat healthy, you're skinny. What? Like, totally ridiculous, just saying. But the very, very practical, personal application of this that's happening for me right now is that just recently, Matt and I found out that we're expecting another baby. And I'm so excited and happy about this. And I have this audacious belief that I can have a better, healthier, more energetic pregnancy than I've ever had before. This is my 5th pregnancy, so it would be old hat, except I'm going to do it a whole new way this time. And I'm finding that that's possible. So maybe I don't want to lose 50 pounds. Actually, right now I'm hoping to gain pounds rather than lose them. But the things that I have learned at Limitless are helping me to have a healthy, happy pregnancy where I can do the things I want and not spend the time on the couch. And, you know, we're early on in the game, but so far, going really well on that front.
Testimonial from the husband is better than it ever has been.
Very, very well. Yeah. And just think as I'm saying these things, okay, maybe you're not pregnant. Maybe you don't want to be pregnant. Maybe you're a man, so that's not even a conversation we can have. Whatever, that's okay. Think about how these things are applying to you. What would you do with financial freedom? What would you do if you had the healthy body that you wanted? Another focus that we focus on at Limitless is limitless personal power. And Lisa did such a wonderful job of focusing on that. It's about loving yourself and about being who you were intended to be, being brave to do the things that you feel called to do, being able to figure out what you feel called to do. These are kinds of things that happen at Limitless. For me, it was about leaving anxiety behind and overcoming depression. And it was about figuring out the ways that I was totally out of alignment in my life, where I would just throw myself right on under the bus to help and serve everybody else. And if I felt anything negative about it, well, that was me being weak and I should just get over it. But I didn't know how to get over it, and I didn't, and I just stuffed things in, and I'm not even gonna go into all that. But let me just tell you, things are getting better and better and better as I'm learning how to really honor and love myself and take good care of myself.
Amen, testimonial there again. From the husband.
The 4th area that we focus on is connection, limitless connection. So our relationships. And that has been another powerful thing that I have grown and developed from my mentoring from Strongbrook and from Limitless. The relationship I have with my husband, the relationship I have with my children. Here's one little tiny more example to talk about this connection. I used to have this idea that kids did things that were inappropriate and bad and needed to change. And you may be thinking, well, yeah, that's true. Kids do those things. Now I have this idea that kids do whatever the kids do, and that they don't have to change. Because see, what I thought when I said they had to change was I had to figure out how to make them change. Because if I didn't, then that meant something bad about me. Now I know kids just do whatever the heck the kids do. And I see my role very differently. And because of that, I don't have to have them change in order for me to be happy with them. And it sounds like a subtle thing, and you're like, well, maybe Bonnie just lets her kids do whatever they want and they rule the roost. Not exactly like that. I mean, they kind of do sometimes, but that's not the intention here. The difference is I don't feel as urgent this need to make them change. In order for me to feel good, in order for me to want to be with them and love them, that is improving drastically because of Limitless. So this is a little bit different approach than we've shared at Weekly Wise, but we have often shared with you the Limitless Mentor Network. It used to be called the Strongbrook Mentor Network. It's now being changed to the Limitless Mentor Network. It's still the amazing $99 a month. It still has the incredible value that we've told you about before, where you have high quality mentorship, tons of it available for you for this $99 a month. But there's this new addition where Strongbrook and Limitless are so focused on helping people improve in these 4 areas of life that I've greatly seen improvement in my life, that they're adding so much value to the Limitless Mentor Network. So now for this $99 a month, as well as having access to the mentoring vault that we've mentioned here before, and if you'd like more information, let us know and we'll go into that. But let me tell you right now of the new value that's being offered, that with that, the app that you can download on your phone and the $99 a month subscription, you can now have access to all the Limitless events, which are 3-day events that are held monthly in Provo or Salt Lake City, where we focus specifically on finding the things that aren't really working so well in our lives in those 4 areas and changing our beliefs and learning to love ourselves, all of those things. They also have other events focusing on wealth and becoming financially free, and other events still to come. So with that $99 a month, you can attend in person or through the app if you can only, access part of the event. So those are all things that are available. If you are not choosing to pay the $99 a month, the app is still free, and there's some content, not access to all the events, but some content that's completely free for an app download. So that's rather simple. So if you were invited by Lisa or Will tonight to this event, then I'm going to invite you to download the app, and I'm going to give you their code, because as you go and do the app, there's a code for that. And I'll even just hold it up here so you can see. So go ahead and access on your Play Store or your App Store. Strongbrook is the name of the app. And go ahead and write this number down, 68243. That is their code. Or if you are our guests and we have invited you, you're welcome to access the app with our code, which Matt's going to tell me in a minute what that is.
I'm almost there.
He's almost there, ready to tell us what
I did have it memorized at one point. 21608.
21608. So go ahead and access that. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us and let us know how we can serve you and help you. I promise that no matter how good I made it sound, the improvements that are happening in my life, and Lisa could do testimonials of all these ways that the mentoring and the Limitless content has been helping her in her life. Matt could do a whole nother spiel of testimonials. Even if he and I live in the same house, we have different testimonials. No matter how good I made it sound, it's better than all that. There's more value, more amazing experiences, more than you could imagine about living the life of your dreams and how to make that happen. It's really incredible. So I just invite you, please take advantage of something that is a huge value for a very small investment and will make a huge difference in your life. And with that, I will turn the time back over to Matt.
Thank you, Bonnie. Appreciate that very much. To wrap up, first I just want to give my short testimonial as well. That the impact that Limitless has had on us and Strong Work has had on us. Awesome that we're able to move into a new home that's bigger, that's going to meet the needs of our entire family and for years to come. And for me, the amazing thing that it's been is the connection, especially with Bonnie, that has been created through this mentorship, through this learning. It's not what I expected to get out of it, but it has been awesome. I just absolutely loved it. So with that, I want to invite Lisa to come back up. So as per tradition, we have a pint of ice cream for her for coming to speak with us. And we like to do an unboxing, kind of like when you get a new technology gadget, you'll see them do unboxing videos. We like to do that with the ice cream. And she told me that she wanted something, she liked vanilla, she liked peanut butter, she liked chocolate. She wasn't really committal to a flavor. So I went to the store and saw a brand new flavor that I hadn't tried yet.
Oh.
That looked amazing. And so I had to buy 2 pints, even though I still have 50 in my freezer. So this one is for her, thank you. And it is called Peanut Butter and Cookies. It is sweet cream ice cream with chocolate sandwich cookies. There we go. Chocolate sandwich cookies and a crunchy peanut butter swirl. And that is what it looks like.
Looks better than that.
And come join us. And this is for you. So come join us and come have some ice cream, because we have it for everyone that's here. We're digging into some ice cream now. So thank you much. Appreciate you being with us this time on Weekly Wise, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.